Wow, that one wasn't very good. Good morning, all. Thank you for tuning in, firstly. Second, I when I wake up in the morning, I like to watch whatever the last video I happen to have made was. Hopefully, you know, a new one that I had made the night before or the day before, and review it as a part of my, you know, morning exercise to get up and get ready. But this video and the one before it as well kind of sucked, and I'll tell you why. I'm not feeling particularly inspired or motivated recently, and there's something that every one of you could do to help with that, is press the fucking like button, dude. It's simple. Remind yourself to press that button. This is a simple exercise in discipline that you can put to practical use right now that will improve every facet of your life dramatically. And the resounding effect is that it will improve my life hugely and cause for me to make better videos for me to watch in the morning that you can watch that will, again, resound in improving your life more. And again, just feedback back and forth will cause for all of our lives to improve hugely if you just remind yourself to press the fucking button. I know that this video and the last one, it kind of sucked ass. It gets across what it needs to, so go ahead and watch it. It gets everything across as well as I could have at the time. But we do need to get these things across, so please do watch it, even though it sucks. But I know that there are at least a good handful of you out there who in fact do like the videos. You guys tell me on Messenger, yet you forget to press the fucking like button here where it matters. Please press the like button. It matters. Your vote counts. It makes my life hugely better in every possible way that you can make me feel just fantastic by pressing the like button. And the resounding effect is that I will improve my performance for you enormously. So anyways, again, go ahead and watch the video. Somewhere later on in the future I will inform you that I likely forgot something, so here it is in the past. Okay, hola all. Welcome back to Soul Mechanics. It is in fact endorsed by your dreams. Now, in this video, as I stated in the last one, there are many dedications and whatnot. We got all that shit covered. No longer need to waste that time. I'm sorry that took like 30 minutes for me to get through that shit. I even missed some of the shit I wanted to say, so be grateful for that. But yeah, we got all the dedications and whatnot out of the way. The reasoning for that is, I'll say that I kind of require that the messages I sent there and what they entailed, the implications of them to be in play in order for this video and the following series of videos connected to this to be as effective as we need for them to be. Certain people need to be addressed here in certain specific ways. So, anyways, this video is going to be the beginning of another short series. As you can see, if you clicked on it, it's part of the Mechanical Soul, part of the Mechanical Soul series. I guess I've used the word series far too many times here, but this a segment. It's the Mechanical Soul package, I guess you could say, which began with the color coding system, is furthering the anatomy of identity course, and this one is specifically going to be speaking to the basics, the baseline, you know, the system for soul mechanics, essentially what soul mechanics is intending to do, what we're intending to present, which essentially what we are. The premise here, the idea is to kind of provide a scientific understanding of some of the more spiritual and metaphysical ideologies out there, what the elder traditions have presented, and you know, some of what people think are supernatural things. As I've said so many times, supernatural is not. There is no supernatural. The only thing in the world, the only thing in existence that is in fact supernatural is you. You are, you know, you are the overlaying consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, that is in fact you are the observer. You are observing the natural world, but everything that transpires in the natural world is natural by nature. So there is no supernatural, and yes, many of the things that people consider to be supernatural are real, specifically speaking to any of the atheists watching, but most especially that one atheist guy that we want to address, who I like ran through your channel, dude, if you're watching. I ran through your channel a little bit the other day, might have been yesterday, and I mean, dude's perfect. Like he talks about, you did a video on Sasquatch where you said that you had a skeptical view on it. You'd like for it to be true. You don't really believe it. And I commented, I told you, I don't think there's Sasquatch out there, honestly, because, I mean, it's like, why wouldn't we have discovered one by now that we can look at? So, I mean, I think that there are animals out there we haven't found yet that could be what people think are Sasquatch, maybe. And who knows, maybe there is, but I would like to believe it. I'm going to have a skeptical view, though. I am, in fact, a skeptic. Soul Mechanics, the foundation of the initiative, we are skeptical people. But it's just as this young man said in his video about Sasquatch, that skeptical does not mean to dismiss and reject everything that seems to be existing in contradiction to your held belief system, like the other atheist YouTubers out there who are just going to outright reject and just besmirch anything that they think is supposed to be supernatural or religious or even spiritual, that's the problem here. That's the problem. That hardwired cognitive dissonance. Dude, YouTube, oh my god. I do not need 30 fucking commercials between every motherfucking, that was the first one, man. First song. Anyways, so what we're doing with Soul Mechanics is we're trying to explain the things that we know are real. We're investigating the things we're not sure about. No. We're investigating the things that we're unsure about, but there's a lot of things that we have experienced repeatedly. It's repeatable experiments that you can do to assert this, which the primary assertion with Soul Mechanics is going to be regarding synchronicity. Synchronicity is in fact a very real phenomenon, and it does in fact imply, if not flat out prove, that there is an intelligent force in play in the world, that there is an intelligent design to reality and to existence and to nature itself. We know this because every one of us experiences this every single day, and if you try it, you're going to experience it too. So Soul Mechanics is intending to present a schematic for that, a mapping, as for a scientific approach insofar as regards how synchronicity works, what we think it is, and how to go about investigating it. So, but what we're trying to do is take all of these seemingly supernatural phenomena, and all phenomena really, but primarily phenomena as regards the psychological environment, as we've been speaking to in our environmental crisis series, and we're trying to break it all down to the most basic and simple method of packaging that we can create to get it across to people, to teach this easily and quickly, because obviously not many people, relatively speaking, even know about it, let alone practice it, make use of it. And we really need for you guys to be practicing and making use of this. We need for everybody to be up to speed here, because it seems the entire world kind of started daydreaming and slacked off and just lost track of what was actually important. And here we are, with the world ruled by fucking greedy, sickly, perverted peoples, and the rest of the world actually allowing for this to transpire whilst they're distracted by being shitty to each other without any conceivable reasoning. I mean, we're divided, we're seemingly defeated, We need to turn this around, get everybody awake, aware, on the level. And please let me know here, when I say awake, I mean lucid, rational, skeptical, yes. Skeptical does not mean, as I was saying, skeptical does not mean to dismiss and reject anything that disagrees with you or your scientific view. We're presenting a scientific view here. Skeptical means to investigate things with, with a rational outlook. And to not accept things without actually investigating the evidences. So we're going to provide evidences here in this channel for what we claim, and yes, for the atheists, yes, we have evidences to show you. Well, actually, you have them. You have the evidences on your person right now. We're going to make you aware of that. Again, lucidity. I'm not talking about this woke phenomenon that's running around where people are saying they're woke. That's really irking me. That bothers me deeply, that people are using that term, and it's like a bunch of people who are pretending to be us. It really sucks. Anyways, I mean, at least it's become like commonly accepted and notable to be essentially what we call a spotter, somebody who is lucid and is paying attention to these synchronicities, somebody who understands that the world is alive and that you can communicate with it. That's what we're trying to get across, simply. As I've stated, I use the word God to define this intelligent force that is in play, but we don't know what it is. We are investigating that. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it's actually intelligent. It could be programming, like the simulation theory gets across. The simulation theory actually, like, we want to present everything like a game. Like, we want to present the rules of the game and how to play it, essentially, with regards to synchronicity primarily. But yeah, I mean, that's what we want to do, sorry. But the simulation theory, it actually fits, And damn it, dude, the more that I deal with this, the more I want to like it, the more I want to accept it. But I don't think it's correct. That's up for debate. But sorry for the people who are into the simulation theory, people invested in that. I don't think it's correct, and I intend to prove it wrong at some point. But I keep drifting closer to it, honestly. In any case, to present for what this video is intending to present is the basest article of interest as regards what soul mechanics is presenting, which is my personal hypothesis or theorem on what we're calling values and aspects. Now, values are essentially like, they're kind of like the HTML of existence. Again, that fucking simulation theory. It's a damn good theory, but it's just, we'll get to it later. Its values are like the HTML of existence, like the coding behind a property. Like they're what makes a thing be what it is. But at the same time, they're also like, there are clusters of values that become other programs that are psychological in nature. And so the primary three values, there's going to be, which values, essentially we're saying that there are values floating around in the world making things happen, and this is what synchronicity is. It's going to be these values presenting that can prompt other things to happen, that can cue you, and that, they'll pop up as cues in your environment via synchronicity, and that's how you're going to see it happening, that's how you're going to follow it. And we're saying that these values are essentially like the gravitational force behind things that move these synchronicities. So values are everything. Everything's made of values, and then there are aspects that we attach to values which cloud our vision of it. And you don't see the truth of a thing. When we speak to lucidity, you don't see the truth of a thing. It's like a common one that I use, an inference or an example is going to be the word manipulate. You hear the word manipulate, it sounds shitty, it sounds conniving, it makes you think that it's like cruel, somebody's manipulating you, but the word manipulate essentially means to make use of something. You can't get through a day without manipulating. And manipulating people, there's nothing wrong with that if you're doing it for good reasons in a positive manner. And this is what we do. It's what we do. The spot casting is raw manipulation at its best, and it can be used in negative manners, but we try and teach people not to do that. I'm sorry, guys out there, but you can't get through life without doing this. You certainly can't get ahead of the game without making use of this. So yeah, you're going to have to be manipulative. The word has a value. It's meaning, just its general meaning. It has a value. But we attach all these aspects to it, and it clouds our judgment of it. It clouds our perception of it. We look at it, and our perception fractalates upon hitting these aspects that are attached, that we have attached to the value. Society has attached to the value of the word. And another example could be the video that I did on that Sydney girl, the last one, where I gave my conclusion on the matter. I used for the thumbnail, and I'm going to start doing this more often. I've done this a few times. I'm going to start doing it regularly with the thumbnail. Is I used a thumbnail that had Johnny Depp and that porno girl and the other girl from that movie on the motorcycle. And when you look at that thumbnail, your eyes are seeing Johnny Depp, the porn star girl, and the other, chunkier girl, and the motorcycle and the road, and you're just seeing this image of the movie. But what does your brain see? Your brain sees Crybaby, title of the movie. That's what it is. So when you look at it, you're seeing these aspects, but the value of it is essentially Crybaby, which is what I was intending to call that Sydney girl. So see what I'm saying? That's one example of how values operate. Values in regards to perception are going to be what your brain sees, and there are kind of subliminal values all over the place that get into your brain. Society, social programming make use of these values all the time. There are cues that your brain knows what a thing means even if you don't. Like, it's in there. You have it programmed, and they can make use of this. Social programming in all aspects. The media, they make use of this. We can make use of this. This is primarily what we're intending to teach here with Soul Mechanics, is how to make use of this, how it works, so you can spot it in your environment, so you become lucid and you understand it, and then you can turn it around and make use of it to assist others to better your life. So that's the bottom line on it, is values. And we have 3 primary values that make up everything. You're going to see this in everything. You see in religion, we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? And that's what most people are going to think of when they think of this trine. But that actually originates much deeper in history and in our traditions, with elder traditions that are, in my opinion, not to be regarded as religions. These elder traditions are not demanding of some fictitious soul that you have to bargain with at behest of some deity that's passing judgment on you. What is eternally damning, could be eternally damning. These elder traditions certainly do not suggest that you are born into some, like you're a problem scenario. You're born wrong, sorry, you're sinful. No. The elder traditions generally are promotional, teach a better way. They have a lot of fucked up shit in them. Yeah, a lot of them are wrong about a lot of things, but they presented great stuff, and they were not as destructive as modern religion is. Modern religion is the problem. That's where most of the values in play are coming from. It's the origin of most of our troubles overall. The entire species is suffering from this illness that is modern religion, Christianity, the Bible. Anyways, so that's what most people are going to think of. But there is the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But there is, obviously there's mind, matter, ether. There's or mind, body, spirit, psyche, matter, ether, mind, body, spirit. There's psychology, biology, and emotion. This is what it's representative of, and this comes from what we're saying are 3 primary elemental factors of existence itself, what are gravity, memory, and relativity. Gravity is simply that what binds, what constructs. It's a force in play that maneuvers things and puts things together. Memory is that what is put together, what remembers what it is. This table is remembering to be a table. every second. We know through our studies in quantum mechanics that this table isn't really even actually here at all. It just kind of pops up when you look at it because there's a memory to it, and that memory is the value of it. And then there are aspects attached to that memory that, you know, you look at the table and it might remind you of something that happened. You know, maybe you had dinner at this table and you remember that, and you get a feeling from it. That's going to be the aspects that are attached to the value of the table, which is simply the table remembering to be what it is. Now, relativity, obviously, we know what relativity is. Relativity was heavily explained by Einstein. I don't need to get into that, although I will a little bit when we get around to that part of it. I am going to make videos for all three of these individually. But those are what we're saying are the elements of reality, of existence, are memory, gravity, relativity, and those are the governing agents of everything that exists. And we're going to try to explain how and why. And this is obviously, as I said, we're trying to break everything down to the simplest possible construct so that it can be conveyed quickly and easily so the world can catch the fuck up with where we're supposed to be here. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna make 3 videos addressing each one of these individually. I do believe I gave all the examples I needed to. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I guess we'll get into it. Maybe I'll add it on if I need to, but we'll get into it later. Anyways, thank you all for watching. This is the beginning of this little series here. This 4-video series. So thank you all for watching. Kila Salai, Tervi Uniciari, Namaste.